Jaguar Wright, she's at it again. Not only is she at it again, Piers Morgan just received a cease and desist letter from Jay-Z and Beyonce's lawyer, which I find to be very, very interesting because everybody been saying, you know, Jaguar Wright ain't lying. Why have no lawyers contacted her with any cease and desist? You feel me? Mm-hmm. And I find this interesting because they sent it to Piers Morgan, but not Jaguar Wright. So Piers Morgan came out and made an apology to Jay-Z and Beyonce for having her on, but they didn't actually send the lawyers to her for actually getting on and saying what she was saying. And Charlamagne made a point saying, well, it's no point to sue a brokey because you don't really get nothing. You spend more money on lawyers. But the type of claims that she's putting on Jay-Z and Beyonce can be life-changing, life-altering, and career-ending. And so that's worth more than money to me to get someone to stop saying that if it's untrue. So how y'all feel about this?
Nah, that's facts. I think it's worth more than money. But at the same time, we don't know if she getting a bag or not. Like, they calling her broke, but she for sure getting paid for these interviews. Ain't no telling what type of money she done made. On top of that, she got mob bosses that protects her. So with that, you got to have some type of money to have a mob rocking with you. And I think that's a bigger issue of why people feel like they not really getting at her straight up or letting it be known. It's like they playing chess. You're not going to let the person know your hand. You're not going to show them your hand. But you know, she knows them. They know each other from way back. So she understands how he move, and he must understand how she move. And the fact that the Piers Morgan dude came back on there and apologized is crazy work because you wasn't sorry for bringing her on there. You knew what she was coming on there for. So for him to bring her on there, he knew exactly what information he was getting out. It's like when you go to court and they tell you to, they might give some evidence on something and say that, oh, dismiss that and forget about that evidence. It ain't dismissed already. It already happened. They already said it. So it's still in the people's mind. He don't care. He tried to apologize to be nice. But like you said, for Jay going after him, it's that shit getting deep. That shit getting real deep.
Well, I'm just trying to do what I'm
Anyway,
talking.
boys, cute.
Yeah. Nah, but they said I be talking too much, so I be trying to wait for my cue.
Nah, I don't try to use that. You talking out of pocket.
I'm gonna tell the fans.
This nigga, he trying so hard to get the fans to love him.
Look, I'm gonna do that like Jaguar Wright. I'm gonna tell the fans, bro. Hey, look. Anyway, So look, I have two opinions about this situation. One, I will always say Jaguar Wright. You trying to come back retroactively and talk about some shit somebody did. You were there. If you knew anything, you should have alerted the authorities. If you didn't do it when it was there, you probably was a part of it. Back when you was young, slim, and looking like something, you was probably in there getting fucked too.
She said, let me let you go. But I want you to know something. She said she was a sex worker back then.
Yeah, she did say that.
Yeah, what she was.
So
that
she was getting
No,
fucked.
so just to get your point across.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, she was participating in it. So when you were participating, you know, you wasn't saying nothing. You was silent, quiet as kept. Now you want to come back like you some type of angel of vengeance coming back to spill all the beans and stuff. You're just a snitch at this point, and you should be sitting in jail with them if it gets to that point. On top of that, with Jay-Z, this is more the Jay-Z shit. He thinks he's kind of untouchable. He don't got to respond to stuff. But now Jaguar Wright, because she's probably the closest person to the situation out of anybody who's ever spoke on Jay and anything that was not on the up and up. Now, a hit dog gonna holler. She says shit that might be striking a nerve or making him feel scared, especially since he's seen what happened to Diddy. So now he want to send the cease and desist to Piers Morgan. I do feel like Piers Morgan is a bitch about the situation because Piers Morgan is just a journalist. He didn't say nothing about Jaguar Wright. He continued to say he retained his journalistic integrity. He said they're not here to defend themselves. She was allowed to say what she wanted to say, and everybody understood that these were just claims at this point that are baseless. But if there was any more information revealed, she would be the first person that would be credited with giving the information accurately, at inception. So Piers had no need to apologize. Jay is not suing nobody white. He gonna end up just like Puffy. He bootlicks white people, so he needs to just go sit his ass down or move out the country before they come get his ass.
I agree with you saying on that, but I think that, there is still a possibility, Jay being Jay, that he could sue, and therefore Piers Morgan, he's obviously smaller, I think, when it comes to that battle, and therefore he's like, you know what, fuck it, I'm not going to even risk, having that cease and desist and then that whole whatever the case is play out. So you can't hear me?
No, I'm telling you, turn me up in the headphones.
Turn you up?
I'm really more so on the side of Jaguar Wright being, I think a broken clock can strike right twice a day, right? Like you can be somebody who says a lot of false things and then still have one or two things, maybe three things that are there's some truth to it. And I feel like some of the things she says in ways have came to light, but I also think there's a lot of nonsense back behind it. There's a lot of bitterness back behind it. In my opinion, people keep saying, oh, well, she was in the industry, she sang for him and this and that. To me, that speaks more so to why she is bitter because she did not make it. And again, I think a broken clock can strike right twice a day. So there's some truth to what she's saying. But when you kind of look at the way she's going about it, it's very clout chasey. And I don't think that you can ignore that. And I think Jay-Z at some point, when you have these media companies and corporations who really don't give a fuck about the truth at all, right? We've seen multiple times media companies come out and they report on something and they got to change it later on because they jumped the gun and it wasn't the truth. So these companies are hungry for numbers, clout, fame, whatever the case is. So they're going to bring somebody like that on. And when you have a Piers Morgan, you've seen black people literally say, oh shit, this bitch is on Piers Morgan. Like things is finna be crazy now. And so for that reason, once it does cross over to that type of media company, you have to send something out to be like, yo, y'all got to stop this shit because it's baseless. If not, the monster gets too big and then it becomes, more than what it is. That's kind of what Dame Dash said as well. He was like, Jay always said, if you don't speak on it, it'll go away. But sometimes that make the problem bigger. So I think he did the right thing in putting something out there. Because at the end of the day, to me, it is baseless, and it is Jay being one of the last great black people that we have right now that is not stained within the music industry. So at this point, if I'm that person, I know I'm that person. I have to do what I can to protect that.
Hold on. This is how I feel about it. Number one, sending a cease and desist to Piers Morgan is crazy. It's strategic though because he's the platform. He's the basically the catalyst for her voice, putting that out to people that she would never even be able to reach without his platform. So I get that from a strategic standpoint. But then it also goes back to them saying to what Dame Dash said, like,
exactly.
Hey, why didn't y'all send that to her? Because she's a speck. She's a raindrop in the ocean compared to Piers Morgan. So it's real easy to get some lawyers to, hey, look, you got to stop talking about this or we finna, you feel me? We finna Alex Jones you. We finna get you all the way up out of here. We finna destroy your entire life. So for Charlamagne to say it's not worth it, yes, it is. If I got someone out there comparing me to Epstein and throwing my name into what Diddy got going on and saying I'm worse, what do you mean? That's worth way more than money, especially to a billionaire. We talking a billionaire. Like, there's nothing to send the lawyers that's already on payroll. So that makes it look a little fishy. Not only that, Lord Jamar just came out and was saying, a lot of these rumors about Jay has been going on in the industry before social media. Because before it was saying, oh, this is Instagram, this is Twitter rumors and all of this. He like, nah, wait a minute. Some of this shit we heard long before y'all actually heard it. Because like you pointed out in the last episode, a lot of these rumors are already spread throughout the industry before we find out about it. Mm-hmm. So he like, if you was in the know, you was in the know. A lot of this shit we've been hearing about, we never seen any facts, which is my issue with Jaguar Wright is, hey, we at the point where you got everybody like this. Everybody on the edge of their seat.
And you're not dropping, you're not
dropping no facts. So, no evidence, no nothing. You ain't, y'all, I got these freak off tapes. Drop a trailer or something. Drop yourself walking into the party with the camera on. You don't necessarily got to show the freak off, freaking off, but actually show some type of evidence, produce something that proves what you're saying is factual, because all it's starting to look like is one big fucking circus, one big clown show. Somebody put the battery in your back, or somebody's maybe funding you to help take niggas down. They just threw another model at Kanye West. Oh, he was at the Diddy party drugging these. Why? Come on, cuz this bitch does OnlyFans.
Not only that, when you got somebody like Jaguar Wright and she's collabing with Orlando, what's his name, Orlando Brown. That's also furthering to me more of the then like, okay, you look a kind of way like. You're collabing with somebody like that is known to just go off and say whatever. So if you do want some credibility to what you're saying, you got to at least get around some credible people to give your story. You go into, again, these Vlad TVs and whoever else to fucking sit down. They're going to let you say whatever.
So I
mean?
think for one, I think Jay sent the deceased letter to basically send a message out to everybody else. Nah, look. Just in case anybody else decides to bring her on another platform, he's letting them know, like, I'm going to do the same thing to you. Just sending a different message. But go back to Dame Dash was saying, he basically said he didn't know why a lot of shit was happening to him when he was coming up in the industry. And he's fucked up mentally because he's saying if this is true, then everything that he went through makes sense. A lot of the shit that he did go through now is coming full circle for him to understand why a lot of that shit was happening. So I think Jaguar Wright, I ain't gonna say she just blow a lot of smoke. I think she's playing her hand in the sense of she's letting it unfold in your face. She's been saying this since she came out and talking about it. And let's not act like people that then got contracts or signed up for a lot of this shit. A lot of these victims, whoever we want to call them, has gotten to industry and didn't think what was going to happen to them. Mm-hmm. You think the shit that they saying about Justin Bieber allegedly, if he really went through that, he was signing up for that? So she could be the same way and just have to like play your way until eventually you get up out of it. A lot of them people get in there and you don't really know what you signed up for. Now you under a contract that you stuck in for however so many years. So you might got to play it this way for so many years, not justifying what they was doing. But if she is really a victim and she talking about she got these other workers that still tagging along with her, and I don't know, was that her that they said her son got killed too?
She said, allegedly, mind you, this is all alleged. These are words she actually said. She said her son got chipped behind this, spreading all of this information and all of this truth, or whatever the case. And then they go on to say, Kanye West talked about this with his mom being sacrificed. Then they say Jay-Z's nephew allegedly got sacrificed. And if you look at every famous person, someone close to them in their immediate family has died by sudden tragic events. Bill Cosby, his son. I mean, you just go down the list. They got a family member that got X'd off, and they saying that those are allegedly some of the things you got to do with these contracts, maybe unknowingly. How you feel about that shit, Ruckus?
I will say with Jaguar Wright, what I think she's going for is she's trying to get paid. Somebody gonna come with a check. Hey, no more. Let me pay you off so you can't go on no more platforms talking about me. One thing I learned when I got sued by, can you turn me down in the headphones a little bit? I'm too loud. Right there, yeah. One thing I learned when I got sued by, when Tariq Nasheed tried to sue me was when you're in the public eye, you can't get nobody really for slander. You're a public figure. You open yourself up to criticism, right? Here's the thing. They need her to stop talking. They're either going to pay her to shut up or they're going to take her to court. The problem with taking her to court is when you take her to court, you have to prove that you weren't doing the stuff she's saying. Mm-hmm. Now you got to open up the books, open up the tapes. They're going to bring people to talk about it to testify either for you or against you. And that's where it gets crazy. We don't want nobody knowing the details of what was going on. But do I think anybody was forced to do anything? No. I believe they were all doing some freaky shit and they were all with it. And now the ones who didn't end up going up the ladder as far as their careers and their money, now they're trying to come back retroactively and basically bribe or extort the ones who were successful. Like, if you don't give me money, I'm going to tell everybody about those freak offs. And that's what this is. I think it will all come to nothing. Diddy, Jay-Z, all this stuff, because you got to prove you were forced to do it against your will. And most of these people have admitted that they were willing participants.
Do y'all think if she really got the tapes, that could be the main point that's really keeping her alive?
What you gonna play it on?
That's what I was gonna get at. Maybe they are afraid to take her to court because now all the evidence can be thrown on the table, and they like, well, shit. In the back of their mind, they know they really guilty of this shit, and the world is looking at her as just a crazy conspiracy theorist, and it's really not affecting them at this point. She hasn't put anything out. She just told Eminem, "Hey, say my name one more time. I'm putting out that tape, but you getting bent over and fucked and ruining your career."
See, and that's kind of what I'm
like, wow, you just throwing them type of claims around.
I feel like why take her to court?
They don't give no flag back.
Because you got to think about it. If I take somebody to court over that.
No, like you saying the name again.
We're at a point right now though where public perception is the know all be all, right? So if a million niggas say, "Hey, this is what we think about you," then that is the truth, whether you say it is or not, or whether it could be proven or not, whatever the case is. Facts. So if I go to court with somebody like Jaguar Wright, I could have a lot of the media or the label backing and all these other types of backing that I have as Jay-Z, but what I don't have is that fandom you know what I mean, that stan culture that goes off into these conspiracies and believes just anything. So why would I go against somebody like that? Wait, but it puts you in the line of sight to then have this story that maybe, okay, 2 million people know to now 1 billion people know. And those conspiracies that were only for 2 million people are now to 1 billion. And then that does become, again, public perception becomes what it is. So if I'm Jay-Z, I'm not about to actually take you to court. I'm just going to give you, by the way, they didn't actually send a cease and desist. They gave an ultimatum. That's what the attorney said, was like, either
apologize or else type
either
shit?
you can take this down or we're going to pursue.
So did he take the whole video down?
Yeah, I believe so.
Damn, he took the video down.
But it's on the internet, so then shit you can do.
It's going to be everywhere regardless.
I'm with you 100. I'm with you on that 100%. But what I feel like it more is like this. Say we over here. Say we had somebody had a fight in here, and they like this dude wanted to fight, and somebody like nah, this dude wanted to fight. Roll back the tape, and while you watching them fighting, a nigga on the table doing cocaine in the background. That's the type of shit they trying to avoid. Like, we may not have done what she's saying we did.
We did something.
But there's some shit going on that we can't let people know about, right? Like, oh, you raped this girl. No, I didn't. Look at the tape. Oh, no, I didn't. I couldn't have raped her because I was over fucking this nigga in the ass over here. That's the type of shit they trying to avoid. Collateral damage, I think. So that's why they're not just coming out like, shut the fuck up. And I think that there are people like Orlando Brown, Jaguar Wright, the list goes on. Even Megan, what's the girl named Cassie, who know that, and they're able to use that to get money.
This. Do y'all think she has a foolproof plan of, let's say they knock her off? Because she recently came out and said she found out it's about 50 bands on her head. They got a bounty on her head to where, hey, if I get knocked off, release everything. And do you think they know that, which is why she hasn't been knocked off? Because if we look in the past, all the truth tellers who have exposed things that allegedly seemingly to be true, like Isaac Cappy, when he was making all those claims on Tom Hanks allegedly and Ellen and allegedly and all of these celebrities, the shit he was saying looked real because he said he was once a part of it, but it was eating him up so much he couldn't take it no more, and he was putting it out there, and voila, he got suicided. And we can name 1,000 names of similar people who've been suicided, but yet she's making these claims and ain't been suicided. So does she have a foolproof plan, or is it because she's only really saying black celebrities' names? She's not really going after the others. She's really just putting down Jay, Diddy, and whoever
She spoke
else.
on all them though. She spoke on Clyde Davis. She go around the clock. She ain't just really picking and choosing.
Is she going as hard?
She going after the industry. She probably going after the
She
ones
gives
that
little Easter eggs.
directly affected her in her mind. So I think she's more aiming in that direction. But she opened up a can of worms on a lot of people.
Because if I'm saying this type of shit and I'm saying I have evidence, I'm letting everybody know around me. I got 1,000 tapes sent everywhere. I sent this to Anonymous. I got this over here in this country. She got the mob with her. Dude say he willing to put his life on the line behind her. He's standing 100% behind her.
So I'm sure if she alleged,
they might be spooked to touch her.
Nah,
that's what
but now that's what I'm thinking. And even if she do, I think she's smart enough. She said she got a plan for them. I don't know if y'all seen her on that live. I guess they took her live down. She was going in on live about a lot of shit, and she was like, I hope somebody screen recorded that shit. And if they did, send that to us. But at the end of the day, I think she understands what's going on. She said, yeah, they got a plan for me, but I got a plan for them too. So she's thinking maybe 3 to 5 steps ahead, and she probably knows how sharp they is. So it's going to be like, we're going to have to watch it unfold in real life. The pieces to the puzzle, that's everything that's going on.
Let's watch
it's
it unfold.
It's going to be cat and mouse. You know what? When you do put it like that, the case can be had, right? That everything we're saying is true, but also what y'all are saying about she might just have the evidence, and that's why she's not being touched. And she could have a fail-proof plan. You know what I mean? Like when she does go, something's going to come out and shock the world. I would assume that if you're doing what you're doing, that's what you do have.
I believe if she got any of that right now, that's what's keeping her afloat. Not necessarily because after that, once you let it out and the world see it, then it's like, nigga, what I got to lose now? I'm gonna try to get you knocked off. If they ain't trying to get her knocked off already, whoever it is, allegedly.
That might be keeping her alive, not putting it out.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Once it's put out,
I'm
it's like,
saying.
man, send the dogs out there. John Wick movie. I think she the first one to get her.
Yeah, exactly.
If
You
I
gonna
know
go crazy.
If I know niggas the way I know niggas, she ain't got shit. She just talking,
Bluffing
run
like
her
a
mouth.
motherfucker.
She bluffing like a motherfucker. She don't got nothing. She's all plausible deniability.
They thought Cassie was bluffing.
She was bluffing.
Till they got that tapes of him whooping her ass.
God.
No,
she got
but
that
no.
bad.
Yeah.
They thought she was bluffing about. Well, this is the thing. Yeah, him whooping her ass is not what he's in trouble for.
That's part of it. He had to pay that off.
Well, he paid her, so he knows he did some shit wrong. But like I said, that's collateral details. It was about some forced against my will shit, forcing me to sleep with prostitutes and stuff. In the process of proving that, this shit about him whooping her ass came out. And that's what I think they're trying to avoid. Maybe we didn't do what they're saying we did, but if you look at these tapes and shit, you gonna see us doing some suspect ass shit, and we ain't trying to let that out. So I don't think Jaguar Wright got shit. If she did, she would have been dead already.
Okay,
Did y'all see the?
we
Hold
gonna
on,
see.
one more
Go
thing.
ahead.
Did you see the thing when she was talking about Ab-Soul? And I didn't even know he tried to kill himself and
Joe?
stuff.
Oh, that he tried to
Yeah.
get like real suicidal and shit.
Yeah, they say he tried to jump off the.
Well, his girl,
killed
Alori Joe
herself.
did, yeah.
But they were trying to say she was basically saying that ain't what really happened type shit. She said basically saying why are all these rappers just out of nowhere trying to be suicidal? Like I think he jumped off the. Don't quote me on this. I'm not. I think a freeway or something or some
Yeah,
shit
it was
like
a freeway.
that. Tried to kill himself. So and that's Ab-Soul. So it's like it's deeper shit going on.
She was trying to say, why does TDE why do their artists are not happy even though they're successful?
Cocaine is a hell of a drug, nigga. That's why.
It's
They
a lot
on
of
drugs.
artists. It's a lot of artists in the industry that's not happy. Niggas didn't know how to read contracts. They was thirsty trying to get out the hood. They got that advance. They didn't know they had to pay it back with interest. And you know what I'm saying? Niggas just not real good at reading paperwork. So there's a lot of reasons why artists aren't happy. We'll see when the details unfold. I don't want to drag on about Jaguar Wright and her conspiracies too long.